Montreal's Villeray Saint-Michel Parc-Extension is a braided story of land, industry, migration, and invention. A borough where fields became tracks, tracks became factories, and factories gave way to a dense, loud, resilient town of many tongues. Its character emerges from three adjoining districts that arrived at modernity at different speeds, but eventually collided. Villeray's tree-lined residential streets, Saint-Michel's post-war grids, and Parc-Extension's patchwork of immigrant storefronts and apartment houses. Together, they form one of Montreal's most populous and relentlessly multicultural corners. The area began, like much of Montreal, as hinterland, rural holdings carved out under the régime seigneurial, long fields punctuated by the odd farmhouse and the slow work of river-facing farms. The first real accelerant came with transportation, the canals, then the railways, and later corded tram and trolley lines, which transformed open acres into parcels attractive to industry and to the workers who supplied it. Where quiet fields had been, rows of modest houses and duplexes rose to shelter the laboring families whose lives would be shaped by the whistle of trains and the schedules of nearby mills. At the start of the 20th century, Villeray swelled with the patterns typical of an expanding North American city: the subdivision of estates, the arrival of worker housing, the steady addition of corner shops and parish churches that anchored daily life. Parc Jarry, carved from municipal vision and civic ambition, became a civic lung, and later a stage for athletic life and large gatherings. The park's presence anchored a neighborhood rhythm, sport and stillness, a counterpoint to the brick facades that frame the streets. Parc-Extension followed a different arc. It was laid out as a planned extension of the city's grid, hence the name, but it matured into a kind of first stop for successive waves of newcomers to Montreal. In the decades after the Second World War, affordable housing stock and proximity to downtown industry turned Parc-Ex into a gateway. Greeks and Italians in one era, South Asians and Latin Americans in another, and later communities from Haiti, North Africa, and Bangladesh. The commercial avenues here tell that history in their window signs and shop fronts. Languages overlap on the sidewalks and markets, producing a dense civic multilingualism that reads as normal rather than exceptional. Across these three sectors, the story has often been cyclical: push and pull between development and decline, outflow and arrival, demolition and grassroots reinvention. The commercial heartbeats of the borough, streets such as Jean Talon and de Castelnau, carry many of the memory traces of this evolution. Markets and small grocers once meant seasonal carts and wholesale suppliers. Over time, they became sites of cultural exchange and entrepreneurial resilience. Marché Jean Talon, just to the south, has long been a regional node linking farmers and merchants to urban appetites. Its presence influenced the growth of neighboring streets, drawing bakers, butchers, and specialty shops whose supply chains overlapped with the city's food economy. Civic life in Villeray Saint-Michel Parc-Extension has always been organic, often driven by local associations and cultural institutions. Community centers, libraries, and sports facilities have been places for both practical support and identity formation. In the later 20th century, when municipal restructuring and housing pressure pushed many families into tighter quarters, these civic anchors became essential. They hosted cultural festivals, newcomer services, and grassroots activism that worked to shape everything from zoning decisions to playground design. The cultural density of the borough produces daily scenes that are quietly historic: a street corner bakery, continuing a recipe from an earlier immigrant wave, a community association headquarters where multiple languages are spoken, a mural that layers recent arrivals over older civic slogans. These are not merely picturesque moments. They are evidence of how memories get layered into place. Buildings change hands and facades are repainted, but small institutions, a church hall, a soccer club, a civic garden, act as memory keepers, anchoring narratives across generations.
Like many urban precincts, the borough faces the twin currents of renewal and displacement. Parts of Villeray have seen rising interest from younger professionals and renovators attracted to its architecture and proximity to downtown life. And this pressure has put upward movement on rents and property values. Parc-Extension, long a bastion of affordability, has also felt the contemporary tug of development debates. Yet even as market forces push and pull, local activists and municipal planners have worked repeatedly to protect affordable housing, champion community land trusts, and preserve the borough's small business fabric. The result is an uneasy but energetic negotiating space between economy and social purpose. Art and music have quietly become part of the borough's new vernacular. Galleries, pop-up venues, and street festivals use public spaces to stitch together disparate communities. The sports fields and community theaters that once simply served local youth now host events that draw wider attention to the borough's creative richness. These cultural investments are both a response to and an engine for the borough's changing identity. They celebrate diversity while giving form to a shared urban life. If history here is a long conversation between past and present, the current chapter reads as an argument for possibility. The borough's density, its deep bench of small businesses, and its role as a first home for countless newcomers give it a public energy that resists simple categorization. It is at once deeply local and unmistakably global, its streets offering the world in miniature. Villeray Saint-Michel Parc-Extension has not finished writing itself. What it offers now is a living archive, streets that remember trains and factories, storefronts that remember families, parks that remember parades. Those layers make it one of Montreal's most compelling urban narratives, a place where history is not preserved under glass, but worked, argued over, and made visible in everyday gestures.
I hope you've enjoyed this video. This channel has more videos of Montreal in the Montreal playlist, which is linked in the description below the video. Channel also has more videos of my adventures bicycling through Latin America, Southeast Africa, Central and Eastern Europe, and I have playlists for all those countries that I've traveled through, available on this same channel, Hum of the Earth. So for more videos of Montreal and other cool places around the world, you can subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and clicking on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.